Well, good morning, everyone. Hi. Do you guys remember that school photograph we used to take? Yeah. If imagine in businesses those photographs had to be taken a couple of years back, this is what it would have been, the different functions of the business, but something would have been missing there for sure, right? Uh, and something started peeping in, as you see at the bottom over there. Oops. Yeah. And then came a time when, my part of business, which is e-commerce, became a little bigger. We started delivering a couple of percentage of business. So you around the frame, but of course you were not let inside the frame till then. And as time goes by, today we are almost double digit of the business, and hence you have your place in the frame. And I can surely say that we're going to stay there for multiple reasons. The first being, looking at some stats, that 70% of influence on shopping will happen from digital. Second, a quarter of the business for most of the companies will come from digital. Yeah. And hence it's safe to say that probably digital commerce is where your shopping will start and very often also conclude, and that also in a loop. Hi, I'm Swagat. I work for Mars. A little about me. I'm pretty new to Mars. I've spent around 6 months in the organization, but I spent a long time in the industry, most of the time with Diageo. And hence, yeah, it was alcohol to chocolates. A bit about Mars, if you know, our organization, our company does amazing pet care products, amazing food products, and I'm part of the snacking business, where we do chocolates and mints, which many of you must be relishing quite often. Let's look at few things that we either need or we don't need. I'll let you decide if you fancy any of these things. For me personally, I think the time has come that I need a little heater. You don't know when it's warm, when it's cold, so you probably need a plug-in heater around your table to just plug it in when you need it, or you don't, right? But if you do decide that you fancy any of these things, how will you actually find out? What will you do next? If you had any intention to shop for it, you'd probably search for it, either on Google or on your favorite e-commerce site, probably Amazon. Some of you, the younger lot, will start already, pointing your Google lens and saying, hey, what the hell is that? Let me buy that, and it'll tell you what it is. And if you're my daughter, she'll literally go to the Alexa and say, can you find this thing for me? So that's how you will start your journey. However, where does this journey lead you? When you search these products, it comes to a page which tells you a lot about it, and then you can shop for it, right? And that's what we call the digital shelf. It's simple. It's like a physical shelf in the retail store. It's a digital shelf on a digital world, right? Common. Let's look at some quick numbers. There are a lot of people in this world, right? I don't know what's the latest counting. Is it, close to 8 billion. A lot of them are online. They all have their mobile. A lot of you have your mobile right now in your hand. And it's safe to say that a lot of them are either shopping or are getting influenced. So a small fraction of that 8 billion is a lot of people. I'm sure we all agree, right? And I think a lot of industry leaders have already started acknowledging, as you see some of these numbers from DCG's latest work, already showing that, what is the digital influence in their overall business. And that's quite a significant number with a lot of other companies which is already coming in. And hence digital commerce is becoming important. And as we said, digital shelf, which sits in the heart of it, is really important. So if so many people are actually looking for products, wherever they come from, it all leads to only one place, the digital shelf, where you can actually experience the product, right? But let me clarify, I'm not here to tell that, digital shelf is more important than reaching consumers. It's not a or game, it is an and game. You need to ensure that you're able to reach consumers everywhere they are, and hence give them the best experience to convert for your products. And that's the, both you need to do together. Oops, yeah. And hence we spoke about how digital shelf sits in the heart of digital commerce, right? If you look at it, what does digital shelf do? First of all, you can have lovely campaigns, but if you don't have a great experience, you will never convert, right? Similarly, so hence, you need to ensure that, oops, I know why it went ahead. Yeah. Similarly, a lot of us search products, and that's how we reach what we want. And that's what's influenced, as we'll see later, with the algorithms of retailers, right? The third very important part is also the business, If your product is not available, you can't sell, and we'll touch upon it later a little more, but your digital shelf with data can tell you that if your product is available or not. And that takes me to a story of, I don't know how many of you like oranges. I really love it. It's an easy, healthy snack. You can carry it anywhere. But when I go shopping for oranges in a shop, it's not really, it's quite uninspiring, because poor orange just has one corner where you'll have two variants of oranges, probably a third one, and that's it. But the same orange has got now superpowers on a digital shelf, right? Because the same orange is not what it is, but what you define or what your intention is for it to be, right? And hence, it can be an orange, it can be a healthy snack, it can be an ingredient for your food. So it's got this omni-power now, right? Second is the infinite digital shelf. It's really critical. On a physical shelf, you only had as much space, but in a digital shelf, if it has the capacity or ability to sell, you can have as many SKUs as you want. And hence, it's got the infinite shelf. And third, it actually doesn't go out of stock most of the time, because your retailer has enough time to procure from your order to deliver to you, right? And hence, it's almost never out of stock. And let's quickly look at some of the key levers of digital shelf, right? Let's start with the first one. This is really critical. This is the aha moment for a manufacturer like me, a retailer, and a consumer, because you can't buy what's not available. I'm sure all of us agree that, right? And also, it's not only about what you can't buy. It's not about the sales of that day, but it's about if you don't have the product that day, it impacts your searchability for days to come. In an average, it takes around 3 weeks to recover what you've lost from one day of out of stock. And hence, it's really critical. One thing, if we can do right, do not go out of stock. That takes us really well to the searchability or findability, right? And I'm giving an example of Amazon here, but every retailer has their own algorithm based on which the rules they show up your product or not. And this is the 8-inch simpler version, which is the Amazon algorithm. And if you see a core of that on the left side is actually what the digital shelf can actually help you influence, and hence win in search for the right occasions and keyword that consumers are searching for. The next thing is credible and likable, right? We live in a world where media is very expensive. Retail space is really, really expensive. What is free is your digital shelf. Make the most of it. And the key elements, a simple title can take you really, really far, because people and algorithm should be able to understand what you're selling, right? Second, make the most of your images, especially your hero image. A lot of your sales happens on your first image that they see, and they need not see your actual pack, but the right information in that. And then use all the other images. We all swipe we all are social animals, as in on for mobile. We all are used to swiping, so your behavior will not change when you come on e-commerce. You will swipe, you'll want to know more, so make the most of all the images. Write the descriptions. People may or may not need, but the algorithms will definitely read the keywords in the description. Bullet points which retail allows you. And last, we spoke about the availability already. Then is the likability. I'm sure all of us, you will agree that reviews plays a really critical role in our decisions of buying a product or not. And hence ensure that your product has great reviews, because otherwise people do not trust you. They want to see what others feel about the same product, people like them, right? And look at the top, customer says. This is the new, I think the most useful part of generative AI, which is already seen in Amazon, and I've seen that Walmart is just introduced last week as well, but that actually aggregates 5,000 or whatever thousand words reviews you have to the top line of what people say about it. And hence, even if people don't read the review, they will definitely look at what the excerpt of the review is, right? The last is the actionability, and we'll talk a lot about it, but I think these are the two images you should think about it. First of all, little freaky, right? An owl staring at the shelves, but that's what happens, right? you have the capability that someone is actually staring every day at the shelves and reporting back to you and telling how it's performing. And that in simple is the digital shelf analytics. We'll come on it later. And second is when you have so much data, you need to execute in real fast. And that's where your product information management systems, big word, we'll touch upon it later a bit, is really critical because that ensures your insight, optimized content can be distributed real time in the sonic speed. And now let's quickly look at some of the AI and automation which will be really critical, right? We spoke about the algorithms, how important words are, written content is, right? This is a simple calculation of what you might need to fulfill your written content needs, yeah? 10 million words is a lot of words, right? If someone gives me that brief in the business, whoops, that's me. I've been told that an ostrich, when it sees trouble, it digs a hole and puts its head. I've never seen it, but I've heard. But if I had that brief, I'm definitely that person. This is the first use case of, I think, where AI is taking you today, which is ensuring that you can write, use AI to write a lot of your content in your brand tonality, in the requirement of retailer algorithms, in multiple languages, and almost in real time. So this is available with multiple providers currently. I would definitely suggest that you embrace this. The second bit, we said visual is really important, right? That's how we shop, all of us these days. But the point is, if any of you are a manufacturer and have multiple SKUs, you realize that most of your products are more similar than different. And you'll be, if you're doing a global role, you'll realize that you're creating the same content version of it again and again. And that is where I think your, as you call digital twin, CGI, whatever you call it, digitize your product, do not shoot it any longer, right? There are a lot of tools available which will help you to just create your product and digitize it, right? And the beauty is if you've digitized the shape and tomorrow you have a different version of the same product, you don't have to create it again. It's just a version of that. And it becomes much easier, it's faster, it's cheaper. And let's not forget the carbon mitigation you might actually also have. Every time you don't have to fly someone or shoot, travel somewhere to shoot a product, right? So this is definitely the second important one. Then let's say that, we spoke about creating millions of lines of content, thousands of creatives. What happens to that content merchandiser? Someone in your business who actually manually does the content uploads, right? And this is the state of theirs. There's too much to be done all the time. And hence you need to ensure that how do we make life easy for them? Little complicated slide, but this is exactly, you might connect to it. What you see on the right side is a traditional way of doing content management, right? We create a content and it's sent through multiple formats to such a level that you cannot trace it back yourself. If you wanted to, you send a WeTransfer link which is expired, you send, someone left the business and it's gone. And in the simplest term, you remember we spoke about the sonic speed of execution. I think that's what your PIMs or product information management systems do. What it does is that it takes all your content, streamlines it, gets it in a single place, and then helps you distribute it to all your retailers, in a very systematic way, and many times automated as well. And also, this never happens. You can always go back and find the product, right? The next thing, when you have all this available, and this is a simple math which was done, is that what is the number of decisions you need to take? Because we say that we live in a world of data, there's a lot of data, but you have to roughly take around 378,000 decisions in your business to ensure that per week, to ensure that you're doing a great job. I'm sure none of us have that time or capability to do that, right? And I think that's where we spoke about the owl, comes here, because you can have digital shelf analytics capabilities which ensures that you're crawling these websites, constantly knowing what's going right and wrong, and hence you know how you can optimize it as well, right? These capabilities are going beyond today. Anyone sees the difference in these two packs? Yeah. We don't have to, right? And imagine if this was a job and you had to do it for hundreds of products, we don't have to. But you see these little M&Ms popping out, but it's not supposed to pop out, right? And hence this is one of the examples which hundreds of decisions that AI can take in today's world and almost help you at least tell you what needs to be corrected, and the way some of the tools are evolving, it will auto-correct as well, right? Then AI takes you further. It looks at all your written content, tells you what you're missing out, the kind of keywords you're missing out that consumers are looking for, helping you optimize it further. And last but not the least is the reviews, right? And we'll touch upon it in the next slide as well, is that these tools also help you to look into reviews and tell you what's going right and wrong. And deep diving a bit on reviews, there are a lot of tools in market which helps you, because we see review currently in e-commerce business as something that the e-commerce team needs. But think beyond. A review is what consumers are saying. It's thousands of dipstick studies being done every day for the products you're launching. It's thousands of opportunity of how you can improve your products as well. And look at from that lens, it goes much beyond. And of course, it is the free content that consumers is creating for your product and people want to actually read. And hence, I think AI is another place which can plumb all the reviews, tell you what's working, what's not working, and give you insights beyond. And then, of course, unfortunately or fortunately, we are in a world of technology. I would say it's more fortunate. It will keep evolving. We have to keep looking what's happening next. A lot of talks on social commerce. I know some of us find it gimmicky, TikTok content, but look beyond. It's a way where consumers are. Consumers are on social commerce, social media, and you can fulfill whichever way. Like TikTok is just signed up with Amazon, as we know, and hence the fulfillment is taken. But this is going to expand. Meta will come in, Pinterest will come in. So social commerce is definitely a space to look out and see what we need to do. Voice is becoming big, right? So as I said in the beginning, when I joined Mars, I told my daughter, Kind is one of the products we make. And she literally asked the Alexa, what is Kind? And I didn't know you actually can shop on Alexa. I was ignorant, but that's going to grow. All of us will start ordering our repetitive products online through, voice commerce as well. GPT, I have my big questions. I know that this week, I think Amazon launched in UK as well. I tried to play with the GPT, tool. I actually didn't know what to do about it, but I would say we all need to learn and see that how GPT will help us out. Definitely a lot of, not decisions, but considerations are already happening on GPT. You can ask the GPTs on, about a product, about health benefits and stuff, or guidance. But that's going to come in. Last but not the least, I saw this in Tesco's last week. And, this is those handheld barcode machines that we use. And you see that Lay's popping up in the top, one of the chips, sorry if it's not Lay's, but it's going to be much more integrated and omni-channel because the world will move into more omni-channel commerce. And hence, stay curious how we've seen one side of how online influences the sales, but soon you'll also see how offline takes you back to online, or repeat purchase or products you don't find in the store can be delivered to you. So as a conclusion, I would say that, of course, the first is, we don't give it as much focus, our digital shelf or where our content is on e-commerce, but this is where we have to realize most of our marketing traffic will be led to. Second, of course, machines. There are a lot of discussions on how AI will influence or, take our, what we do, but I think AI only is there to make you superhumans. The power of it. How do we drive it further is up to us, so we can do much more. And I think the last bit is that how do we stay curious to ensure that, we keep knowing what's the next trends that's coming in. Thank you. That's my time.